Vegan.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, July 9th. Good morning, Kendall.
Good morning.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. It's going to be a great one today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Got some listener bait to give away today. Jerry Cantrell tickets happening at 8:10. We'll have two opportunities to win tickets for your Arizona Diamondbacks. There's a game coming up on the 18th. First opportunity is going to come up in a couple of minutes. So if you're a baseball fan and you want those tickets for free, be ready because I'll open up the phone lines for our early birds just to kind of show you some listener love. And, we have some good things to get to and some fun times. Let's address the serious and bad time stuff first. Okay. First and foremost, our good friend Weirdo is looking for her 15-year-old daughter, Arlo, which is unfortunate. And, Arlo's kind of, right now, just currently missing on 72 hours. Tucson police are looking. We shared information on our Facebook page. Yeah. So if you're on social media, make sure you head there and please share the poster looking for Arlo. And hopefully we find Arlo here in the next day or two. And like my hopes is that she is just being irresponsible, and you know how like some kids can be, yes, yeah. and doing that, and it's nothing too serious, but obviously, mother's concerned. So and the
more people that are aware and are looking, Tucson's a big small town, so I think we can band together, and she's going to be okay. So
yeah, there's a good chance that people are aware too, because so many people were sharing that yesterday off the two posts, and so that's one thing that the community always bands together when it's like an Amber Alert of sorts, which is very good, and I love to see, but also hate to see at the same time. So hopefully, she gets some positive news and resolution today, and they'll be able to deal with that. It's always, as a parent, you'll find out eventually, as soon as your old man knocks you up. And I say that most romantically, right? As soon as you guys both get rid of your pink eye, because I think pink eye makes it not only unfertile, but
if we had a child right now, it would come out with pink eye.
You would have like an X-Men. If you had a child right now, it would be Cyclops of the X-Men, and would have to always wear glasses because when the glasses came off, a rays of pink eye would shoot out to everyone. So Kendall went
to super villain.
Yeah, Kendall went to Ohio like 2 months ago, and she got a case of the pink eye, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I like the 69 on vacation too. It happens. But then her boyfriend, and so usually pink eye, you think, what? That's a couple days, irritability, and then you kind of like, you heal. Kendall apparently has not been the case, even though I haven't seen it.
I know. It's like you can't even tell in this bright light.
No.
It's better, but it's not fully better. And I know there's something wrong with me because I saw an ophthalmologist yesterday. I should be seeing a psychiatrist after that. But I don't, in a weird way, even though he told me good news, I don't believe him.
The good news is like, hey, this is in your head and you're going to be fine.
No, and there is irritability in my eyes. Mm-hmm. That is for sure. And he was saying, the drops that are supposed to help it are now hindering it, right? So let's stop taking the drops and we'll see. So I think the part that we ended on, the we'll see, makes me feel like, did I discover a new strain of pink eye that nobody's ever seen before? And
from Ohio, yeah.
Yeah,
they're super pink eye, and it all originated from you and your boyfriend. That's why you never 69 in Ohio. I've heard that before.
Does this make me a hypochondriac?
Well, a little bit. And so, sometimes the placebo effect goes a long way. I was just talking about this yesterday. I was on booty duty, and I'm talking to my friend afterwards, and because I had a cold earlier this week, I was feeling kind of sick. And so what I do, I take Zicam, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever I go through this process.
It's the zinc stick, right?
It is. So, that's the swabs. I mean, they got nasal spray, they got pills, they got all that stuff, right? And so whenever I start feeling under the weather, I start loading up on zinc, Zicam, and then, try to rest up as much as possible. And I did, and I was able to kind of knock out that little inconvenient cold. It was like a 48-hour bug. And so I'm feeling great yesterday, and I'm in bed, I'm talking about it, and she looks at it, I'm like showing it off. And she looks at it and she's like, oh, it's homeopath. So it's probably just a placebo effect. And I was like, don't you ruin this fantasy for me. Right? Now,
I have another friend who also swears by the same thing as you. So,
but the power of placebo goes a long way as well.
And I believe in that effect.
Yeah.
Placebo effect is an effect.
So I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to do, because, what you didn't know about me is that I have, and this has been an ability, a gift that was given to me probably since birth, maybe even before that. I have the ability to blow in people's eyes and cure pink eye. It's a gentle breeze. And obviously I have a decent breath. I won't do it after I drink some coffee. But a gentle breeze of beef breath in your eyes will not only cure your pink eye, but also maybe trick your mind and create the placebo effect to help cure that pink eye. And just let me blow your eyes a little bit. And because at this point, do you have anything to lose? You've had pink eye for 2 months now.
No,
right?
but
Can you get pinker eye? Can you get green eye?
Yeah.
You can't.
It can always get worse.
No, I blow eyes all the time. And I said eyes. There's no G in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I didn't know you were this advanced in the medical industry.
I'm not. It's sometimes, that's why people believe in God. Some people have the gift.
Believe in beef.
Yeah. So let me blow you and I think you'll be okay.
So after this, I'll be a believer.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
You'll join the club.
Okay.
And you won't be the only one.
All right. You're right. You've sold me.
See? All right, good. All right. So see, that's how we're starting off today with miracles. I got one more bad news to tell you. We are tying a record for record high today. It's going to be 110 degrees. So that's crazy hot, obviously. So make sure you hydrate. I know there's a lot of people riding with us that are working outside. We salute you. You guys are hardcore. Got to make that living and stuff. But hydrate and try to cover up as much as possible. And if you overheat, maybe I'll come by and blow you too. So like the magical breath of beef, it will be out there on the streets.
Doing a lot of blowing today.
Yeah. But with wind and air, that's it. That's no mouth contact. It's just like,
yeah.
You feel better?
Oh,
is it good? Yeah.
I felt a chill.
I know. Well, you know what? That's basically your white blood cells reacting and starting to attack any kind of like foreign viruses in your body. Yeah. One more time here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll report back at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think your eyes are going to be crystal clear. All right, let's give away our first pair of tickets here, starting off with Arizona Diamondbacks. It's going to be on July 18th, so it's coming up right around the corner. They're facing off against the St. Louis Cardinals. And if you want to go see that game for free, be caller number 10 right now at 600 KFMA, 605-362. We'll win those tickets, and you won't even have to be blown by me. All right, so we're going to have a lot of fun today. Another pair of opportunities to win tickets will be coming up a little bit later. But your morning morons coming up after the 3 days grace, kicking things off with Radiohead. Here's Creep from Rock 102.1 KFMA. Speed Vegan presents. But you know the name of the show? Let's go. And don't forget to blow. All right, there we go. So that's how we started off the show this morning. Been having a lot of fun as we get ready to pop on the air, do a little tease on this podcast broadcast. Good to see you back on the comments there, Francisco. And good. See, a lot of people still out there, either lurking, listening, wherever the case may be. But if you are watching, you haven't commented before, make sure you drop in the comments, join our community. I got a good crew going on here, even Todd. All right, so we have a lot that we're going to cover here, but about 12 seconds we'll jump on for a tease, and we have some good video clips that we're going to share as well. So beef breath is a thing, and yes, don't have me blow in your eyes, but look at Kendall's eyes. They look fantastic. I cured her. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back, Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast. There you can see Kendall doing her crazy eyes, which is amazing. Her crystal clear eyes. She's still convinced she has a pink eye, but I blew in her eyes this morning to start things off, and I think they're as white as can be. My
they're
breath
stuck like this for now for some reason. I don't know why.
Keep it like that all podcasts. I'm all about it. We got a lot to get to, including your TMI top 5 headlines and, some great things to look forward to as you get old, Kendall, because I know you're not old. You're far from it, my favorite dump baby. But there are things to look forward to as you get older that I will break down for you. Plus, I know that you've been scouring your internet for some fun stuff to touch on. So we're going to get to that in the podcast broadcast as well. If you're stuck in traffic and not moving, you might as well join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, or keep it right here because we'll be back after music from House of Pain. Here's Jump Around on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so
I was just thinking over the weekend, like I feel like I'm in that in between stage in age where it's like, do I need to become more responsible and get a better routine and settle into that? Or do I just need to like, go out on a Thursday night, even though I got to wake up early on Friday? And like, do I got to live and just be as reckless as I can be for as long as I can be? Or like, While
you still have the energy, then you should take advantage of the energy, right? Because there'll come a day when you're like, oh, if I don't get a good 8 hours sleep, I won't be able to function for 48 hours.
Right.
And that day is fastly approaching.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's here.
It's not. It's not. No. I know mentally and emotionally you're 90, but you're not. Physically, you're still 32 or 33. What is it, 32?
I'll be 32 at the end of the year. So 31.
Yeah.
31.
Oh my God. If, bottle up your blood and give me their energy. I would main that. It'd be a whole different day. I'm telling you. And people know this as well. So yeah, like at the time being, I mean, you don't have to do Thirsty Thursdays anymore and go that hard in pain, even though Thursday was the party night for people 21 to 25.
Right.
But while you still have it in you to pull the 6 5-hour nights, whatever. Like, luckily for me, I didn't start my show in the 40s because when I started my show, obviously I was doing the morning show, but I wasn't getting paid for it. And so I had to work nights and I was doing casino events and DJ gigs and do concert promoting, all that shit. Right. And so I was burning the candle at both ends. So there's plenty of days where I would get like 4 or 3 hours of sleep, get up for the show and do the show and then crash out hard, wake up, do it all over again. And I was able to do that, luckily, because I started at like 28, towards the end of 28, 29, and then my, early 30s. And then once I kind of crossed like 35, there's no way I could have done that. Luckily, I was able to get a paying job down here and not have to work late nights anymore. So now if I do an event where it's a concert that ends at 10, then if I don't pre-record the first hour or two of the next day, I'll just take the day off because there's just no way I could even function.
I mean, it sounds like on that scale, I have like 3 good years left to just,
Yeah. No, you do. And take advantage of it while it lasts, dude, because it won't last forever. And real quick to the comments, people are asking about the 710 events. Now, yes, it will be hot tomorrow, but the 710 event is happening at the Whistle Stop. And Chrissy from Tucson Doobie is going to be on the podcast broadcast tomorrow to talk about it. And it's going to go from 7 to 10. So, yes, it will be hot, but from 7 to 10, it'll be a little bit cooler. Obviously, it'll be dusk at that point, so the sun won't be beating down on you. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Whistle Stop is a dope ass place, Whistle Depot or something. And a really cool setup for these events. And I was gonna have Chrissy on this morning because I was gonna take tomorrow and Friday off just because the studio right now. I mean, look how dark Kendall looks. Things are fucked right now because the engineers are trying to fix stuff, and to do that, they have to break everything. So I wanted to give them extra time to fix the studio, which they have not. And so I was just going to take the days off. But hold on. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. So long story short, I am going to be doing the show tomorrow. We will have Chrissy from Tucson Doobie in studio to give us exclusive details on an event that they're hosting tomorrow night that we can only talk about online. We can't even talk about it on the air. But then I will not do a show on Friday because the engineers here are revamping the studio to make it look bigger and better and sound better and stuff like that, which is good stuff. They believe in the show enough. The show's been going well. We just passed 4-year anniversary on KFMA. Love that. Still working hard behind the scenes to try to put on some big events, and with your support, hopefully that will happen here in the future as well. But before that, I'll have to give them that extra day, give myself a 3-day weekend, boo-hoo, while they get in here and fix the things that they broke in the process of trying to make the studio better. So,
right.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, we're back on here, though, so let's get into it. Yeah, and people are scared for you, Kendall, because with the light, it's so weird. It does look like you're kind of like stuck in a closet.
Yeah, it's not a good look today, guys.
Yeah, so
it's not a good look.
Cactus Robot said, "Beef scary closet with a spotlight." Yeah, I don't know why it looks so scary, but it does. All right, well, look, you're still young. You still get to appreciate the youthful energy that you have. Okay,
it's fleeting.
I know it's fleeting. It's fine. All right. But there are things to look forward to as you get older. Okay. And these are things that you just don't lose, or like that you lose with age that you don't miss. Okay. And it's just going to remind you that as a younger person, you kind of hold on to petty little things that make your life more difficult or stressful. And it doesn't need to be that way. Like the need to please everyone is a youthful desire, right? You get to a certain age where you seriously, DGF, you don't give a, right?
Right.
And so like, it's just so freeing. When you don't need to please everyone. Be like, hey, this is me. This is how I be. If you don't like it, then you can go hit the door. Right. And go snore, whatever.
Right. I was waiting for that rhyme.
Yeah, it's there. All right. Needing to have it all figured out. That's something when you feel like the pressure, you got to have it all figured out, like life, you know?
Right.
Like, what am I going to do in future life? Here's the good news. Nobody knows what the next 5 years is going to bring as far as security for anybody. And if we're all homeless, then, eventually we'll all just build a big enough tent and we'll kumbaya together. I don't know.
Right. Or maybe one of those like big parachute things that you did in PE class when you were a kid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I love that. Are you kidding me? That was my favorite game. Yeah. You kind of sit, you look at everyone like, hey, you're under here too? We're all under here?
Yeah, kind of similar lighting that we're in right now, you know? It's like we're under a big parachute tent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people are going to be concerned about you if you keep making those analogies. Toxic relationships. You tend to, get rid of the drama-filled friendships, emotionally draining partners, one-sided work connections. You're just like, hey, you're too toxic and I just, I have to move on without you. That's something that with maturity and time, you just kind of lose and you don't regret or miss. Being afraid of saying no. Again, it goes back to not giving an F. Then you're not afraid to say no as well. Like people are like, hey, you want to go out? It's Wednesday nights. You want to go to this rave with me? Like, nah, not at all. And I don't feel FOMO. Oh, you guys are going to have a good time? Go have that good time. I'll have a good time not doing it. You know what I mean? So that's good. Worrying about your appearance. I still believe that you should be concerned with your appearance.
Yeah.
Eventually you get to a point where you don't care what you look like, but that's a certain kind of bliss that I hope to obtain someday. But I will still look in the mirror for a good 5 minutes and roast myself in a negative way. So I still think you should, work on your appearance to a certain extent.
Right. You always got to be worried about the boogers coming out of the cave.
Yeah.
Or like the spit that gets stuck in the side of your mouth. Those things you should always be worried about.
For real. Yeah. Because you don't want to be like, talking in public and having a booger hanging out and stuff. And this is not even has to do with anything, but when are you going to start wearing makeup again? Did you raise money for that?
Well, no, I'm like, did you start my GoFundMe?
I'll give you $3. You wear some mascara.
It's expensive out there.
All right.
To get makeup.
Good to know. Yeah. Chasing the spotlight. Well, we'll ignore that because obviously we're attention seekers. Comparing yourself to everybody else, I stopped doing that in porn. It makes me enjoy porn a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yeah, those are wise words. You know what's funny is I asked ChatGPT if a quote I sent to Rico yesterday was profound. And it's like, nah. No. It's correct, but not profound. And it had to give me the definition of what profound means.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then called me stupid and told me to use a different platform. Rushing through life is something that, you do when you're younger. When you get older and stuff, that's why they drive so slow in the fast lane. They're just taking their time. They'll get there when they get there.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're running out of time. You should actually be speeding up.
Yeah, but they don't because they know. They're just like, I've already had a good run. So whatever. And I know that I'll get there when I get there. And that's just metaphorically speaking, rushing through life is something that you seem to do when you're younger. You want to be overly productive. You want to be maxed out. You ignore your rest. But when as age whispers slow down, that's a good thing. And you do. And so as you get older, you kind of appreciate that. And then finally, chasing after superficial things. Right? And not even finally, because I got two, because worrying about past failures is another thing that you get over at a certain point. Yeah. I had to turn the corner of 40 before I let go of the fails that I had in my teens and my 20s that I really harbored resentment towards myself for. You know what I mean? It's almost like a trauma scar that prevented you from moving forward in a way. Right? So these are things to look forward to. Basically, to sum it up, you just stop caring because you're just like, hey, the inevitable fate is, more foreseeable. You're just like, what's the point anyways? We all got an end date and I'm closer today than I was yesterday. Whatever.
Right. Age brings wisdom. And I think the most important part of all of that is that nobody knows what they're really doing, you know? So why compare? Why panic about other people when nobody has a single clue?
That's right. That's what they say. And that's why you should fake it till you make it. And then when you're naked, just take it. All right. Those are the wise words. Right. And let me ask you, ChatGPT real quick. Was that profound?
No. Analyzing. No.
No. More criminal and perverted. Please use other platform. Ask Grok. Go F off. All right. So let's keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. You can join us there, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. All right. You guys still with us? All right. Yes. All right. That's good.
Is anybody still there?
Yeah. Arnaldo said, if only I don't care as much in my youth. Oh, well. Well, next time.
Yeah, they say, like, what is it? There's 3 things in life that really dictate us as humans, which is like energy, money, and time. And when you're young, you have energy and you have time, but you don't have any money.
Right.
And then you get a little bit older and then you start to get money and energy, but then you don't have the time because you're so busy making all this money.
Right.
And then in the final stage, you have money and time, but you ain't got no energy. So
you ain't got no
energy, Lieutenant Beef.
Yeah.
So
that's
how it goes. You're always
Lindsay did right. She said, I peed in the bathroom with no doors yesterday, and I was told they have no doors, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. I need to go. And if they want to watch, they can pay me. So, that's another thing, like peeing in troughs in public places. I wasn't able to do that as a younger man. As an older man, I don't even care. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. It's just
talking about some troughs this weekend. Those are famous places to pee in.
Yeah. Real quick, Todd said, Kendall, blink uncomfortably if you need help. Oh, no, she's blinking uncomfortably. Earlier this morning, she didn't need help. In case you don't believe me, it went something like this. Check it out. I spit.
Gross.
All right, Lincoln Park, somewhere I belong on Rock 1 2.1, KFMA. Welcome back. Beef Vegan presents. Hey, Al, I was saying this yesterday, which with the rise of AI, I was saying I've been seeing posts from people saying, ladies, sex workers, content creators, get your money now. Because with AI coming, like it's going to be taking more than just coders' jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Which leads me to this segment I want to talk about called Lifestyles of the Rich and Naked. Today's Lifestyles of the Rich and Naked is Denise Richards. Okay. Now, Denise Richards, you may know her from the movie Wild Things. She was Charlie Sheen's ex-wife.
Depending on how old you are, you might know her.
Right. She's a Real Housewives. She's a reality star. She's a bunch of stuff. Former, 90s iconic sex symbol actress. And she's always beautiful. And, about a year or two ago, she started an OnlyFans page only after her daughter started one, which, again, somewhat toxic of a relationship and a little competition there. Well, there's bad news in the camp of Denise Richards. The bad news is her husband and her filed for divorce on the 4th of July. All right. And that is bad news for Denise Richards because her husband wants a lot of money now because he admitted while filing for divorce that he helps her OnlyFans page. He helps take the... He
was messaging all the people. He was setting the prices.
He's doing all of it. He's a business manager, right? And, would take the content, film the content, post the content, probably message as his wife, which is creepy as hell. But it was a very lucrative career. In fact, actually, they did a breakdown of assets and how much it costs just for their cost of living every month. And this will make you sick, especially if you're kind of trying to stretch a dollar, right? So here's what he alleged him and his wife spends monthly, which totals to $105,000. Okay. This includes $20,000 being spent on clothes every month. Okay. I can see that happening with name brand stuff. Okay. $18,000 on rent. Okay. You're renting a mansion. I mean, at this point, why don't you buy, dummy? You know what I mean? Invest.
Yeah.
All right. $10,000 on groceries. $10,000 on groceries.
That's what I spend in my household.
Correct.
I mean, again, it sounds on point.
Keep in mind too, it's like you're not feeding a family of 15, and you don't even look like you eat that much. You guys are both very super fit. Like I don't see you sitting down and eating like 3 filet mignons every dinner. So whatever grocery store you're going to, they're jacking you.
Year one, probably.
I guess. $8,000 on utilities. Well, that makes sense because, huge house. $15,000 on eating out. So with the $10,000 of groceries, and the $15,000 eating out, they spent allegedly $25,000 a month on food. That's literally over. It's almost $1,000 a day. If it's February, it's close to $1,000 a day. But let's say, for the sake of rounding, $800 a day eating, insane. And on top of that, $15,000 on entertainment, which.
Yeah, what kind of entertainment we talking about?
It's got to be cocaine and hookers. That's the only thing that makes sense at that price. The reason why they can afford that lifestyle is because he alleged that Richards actually makes over $250,000 per month just from her OnlyFans. And on top of that, her reality TV show, brand deals, stuff like that, she gets a bunch of money from there. So they definitely have the money. He's looking to be able to live this lifestyle beyond their relationship. And we'll see. And I don't know who makes more money, Sammy Sheen, who is Charlie Sheen, and Denise Richards' daughter, who's 21 years old and has an OnlyFans, or Denise Richards. I know that Sammy is probably getting a little more progressively hardcore with her content. Is what I hear.
Okay, just speculation.
Yeah. No,
right.
I'm not a creep, and I don't have the budget to even think about subscribing to one of these pages because they're not one of those free pages, and they're not one of those, for $5 a month. No. It's probably like a $30 to $50 subscription and then probably pay to unlock content. So not worth it. But either way, that's just the lifestyles of the rich and the naked. Like, that's insane to me that somebody would spend that much money on living. And they didn't even include like vacations or anything like that.
Right. And I don't know why I'm really hung up on the fact that, like you said, they're getting groceries and eating out.
Right.
If I was loaded like that, I'm sorry, I'm not cooking.
Yeah. Why would you get groceries?
Only.
What's the point? And especially $15,000. I mean, look, I eat out a lot, right? But I'm like a single guy if I'm going like on dates and stuff. And still, like a good date night where you're going to, I know this is Tucson and not Beverly Hills, so it's going to be a little different. But I could say as a single guy going out in Beverly Hills, I could probably eat super well for $100, right? And say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's $300 a day. And that's at the most. That's if I'm not driving through to get myself a breakfast burrito. So $300 a day.
Right. Now, do you think this was Aaron's plan in the long run, that he was trying to, kind of gold dig on Denise a little bit?
You call it gold digging, but there's an old school term to this that's been around forever, and it's called pimping. So it's not easy either. So he was pimping his wife through OnlyFans anyways, and now he wants his money. And he's just going through the divorce court and saying, hey, Denise Richards better have my money.
Right.
And we'll see. But there you go. Lifestyles of the rich and naked. All right. We have more, including weird news with Kendall, coming up right after these words and music from Soundgarden on Rock 102.1 KFMA. So don't go away. All right, hopefully you got your brain working here, Kendall, because we're going to play a game on the air here in a little bit.
I love games.
That's right, and I've been teasing it on the stream. So coming up next, another round of Fake or Florida. We'll see if we can stump. And if you want to play against Kendall in Fake or Florida, give me a call right now, 600-KFMA, 600-5362. And if you win, I'll hook you up with tickets for the Diamondbacks. And this is a streamer exclusive thing going on right now. Diamondbacks playing against the St. Louis Cardinals on July 18th. So if that's something you want, then you feel free to give us a call and we'll play on the air here in about a minute 35. If we don't get a caller or streamer to call in, then we got someone. So yeah. No need to tease there. Rock 102.1. Who's this?
Yo, it's Patrick.
All right, Patrick. You know what? Let's see. We got two people. Who's on line 2?
It's
Arnaldo. Excellent. You know what? Let's see. I'll have both of you guys kind of play against each other in Fake or Florida, with Kendall kind of just weighing in on each round as well, just to see if she could get the points right as well. So we got I have a bunch of headlines actually put together. So you
Okay.
guys been paying attention. Of course, tickets will be on the line for the Diamondbacks. You both want the try to win those tickets, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. All right. And I'm not on speakerphone, am I? Arnaldo, or you got me on speakerphone?
No, but I have you on Bluetooth, but I'll take it off.
Yeah, take it off real quick because it sounds like you're talking to me while you're taking a dump, and I want it to sound clean on the air. Patrick, you sound pretty good.
I mean, don't blame the man for
you're on CarPlay
multitasking.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm off.
Okay. Yeah. And then Patrick, what'd you say?
I said you're on CarPlay right now, so you're good.
Okay, cool. Sweet. All right. Well, we got about 15 seconds. We're going to do this. And this is good. I'm excited about these headlines. And of course, you guys have been paying attention during Fake or Florida, right? It should give you an advantage.
I wasn't able to. I was busy at my property right now.
Well, not talking about
It's
today.
okay.
I'm just saying in general, but let's get on here. All right, Rock 102.1, KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I do have a pair of tickets to give away for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm very excited about this. Kendall, I want to play a game. All right, so let's go to our phone lines. We got 2 callers on the line already. We got Patrick on line 1. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning.
All right, line 2, we got Arnaldo. Good morning, Arnaldo.
Good morning, all.
All right, so the game that we're going to play is Fake or Florida. I'll have Kendall weigh in on these as well, but it's a pretty simple game, okay? I'm going to read you a headline. You're going to have to try to guess if it's a real headline from The Great Mistake of Florida or a made-up headline from My Sick and Twisted Mind. All right, so whoever has the most points at the end of the game will win tickets for the Arizona Diamondbacks facing off against the St. Louis Cardinals on July 18th. So here we go. We'll start off with Patrick on line 1. Fake or Florida, here's your headline. Florida man fires flare gun at deputy, removes pants, then throws money in the air. Fake or Florida?
Oh man.
That sounds like it could be Florida. Jeez.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go with Florida. Yeah.
You're going to go with Florida? Your final answer? What do you say, Kendall? You agree or disagree with Patrick?
Just to be the devil's advocate, I'm going to say fake.
Well, it's a point for Patrick, not for Kendall. So the WFTV reported the 44-year-old man in Marion County allegedly shot the flare gun at a cop, stripped off his pants, and then rained cash at the officer before being tased. 100% true. Point goes to Patrick. Now to Arnaldo. Here's your headline, Fake or Florida. Florida man hijacks drone to escort himself home after bar fight. Fake or Florida?
I'll go fake.
You're going to go fake with that one. What do you say, Kendall?
I think it's also fake.
That is unfortunately fake. I had a fake summary and everything, but no, it's made up. Back to Patrick here. Fake or Florida? Your headline is Florida man hides in sewer, peeks out at deputies, and is spotted by drone. Fake or Florida? Starting off with Patrick, what do you say?
We'll go fake.
You're going to go fake with that one. What do you say, Kendall?
I think it's Florida.
Yeah, I mean, here's a fun fact. Pennywise from It was in Florida the entire time when he was peeking out saying, hey, you want a balloon? And so was this Florida man. That is true. CBS Miami covered this, and the guy crawled into the sewer gate near the Brandon Mall to avoid arrest, but a sheriff's drone had him on video, so they knew exactly where he was. No point for Patrick. It goes to Arnaldo. Here's your next headline, Arnaldo. Fake or Florida? Florida man clings to moving UPS truck after shoplifting from Lowe's.
I think
fake
that's
Florida. All right, well, let's go to Arnaldo first here. What do you say?
I'm gonna go Florida.
You're going to agree with Kendall on this one?
Yeah.
All right, that is correct. That is Florida, Arnaldo. The mystery shopper allegedly attempted to grab nearly $1,500 in items and then latched onto the back of a UPS truck, and he was caught trying to hitch the ride out. So, Florida man style. He went straight up Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. Like, I got my ride right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love it. All right, back to you, Patrick. Fake or Florida? It scores 3-1, so you need to get this one right to stay in the game. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Florida man claims his laptop is a bomb, forces flight to make emergency landing. Fake or Florida?
I'm gonna go with fake this time again.
Gonna go fake again. What do you say, Kendall?
Oh, I think it's Florida.
Yeah. In fact, actually, this is a Florida man story that just happened the other day. On Allegiant Flight 1023 out of St. Pete. The passenger allegedly threatened that his laptop was a bomb, prompting an emergency return and FBI involvement. 100% real. Point goes back to Ronaldo. And with that, it was a clean sweep in a way. 4-1. Baker, Florida goes to Ronaldo. Yes, just yesterday we were talking about how the TSA quietly
it's starting to lighten up.
Yeah, quietly announced that you don't have to take your shoes off anymore, because the reason why we had to take our shoes off for screening is because one guy had a bomb in his shoe. Now we get a Florida man claiming there's a bomb on his laptop. Does that mean we're not going to be allowed to bring laptops on phones or on planes for the next 20 years? Hopefully not. But, luckily, they could look at every Florida man and be like, you're an exception, Do this if you're from Florida or you're leaving from Florida or you're flying to Florida, do extra search for precaution. But anything outside of that, don't care.
But it wasn't a bomb, right? It was just an actual regular laptop.
It was just a laptop.
I don't think they're going to make a rule about that.
Yeah, it could have been like a Dell, and they're just like, that thing could explode at any moment, but not technically a bomb.
Right.
There you go. Round of Faker, Florida. Well done, both Kendall and Ronaldo. Ronaldo, stay in the line and going to make sure that you go see the Diamondbacks versus the St. Louis Cardinals on July 18th, okay?
All right, sweet. Hey, good game, Patrick.
He hung up.
You too, Arnold.
Oh, that was like,
Have a good one.
I was like, Patrick's like, F you, Arnoldo, I'm out. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/bevegan. On the FM side, we got music on the way from the Chili Peppers and Soundgarden. It's Rock 102.1. Clear. All right. I'm going to make sure that I got Arnoldo, which I got your information for the most part, Arnoldo. It's last name's Lara.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. It's been a minute since you won, but I got you. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I've been trying to get selective and not call so much. Give everybody. Plus, I don't watch a lot of bands that that the tickets go out for. But anyways,
Well, that's good. Yeah. So Arnoldo doesn't try to win everything, and he's got such a unique name. I'm always like, God damn it, Arnoldo, you can't win everything every day. People are gonna think it's only you listening. Obviously, I got Patrick listening.
I know. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah. No, but it's all good. It's been a long time, and yeah, this will be a good one to bring your son up to, right? This.
Hey, you know what I used to miss, man? That I used to call all the time for. They don't. They closed it down. Was that pizza place right there at the Park Place? What was it called?
Yeah, Squared Up, dude. Yeah. Squared Up Pizza is fantastic, and unfortunately, yes, it did. Close down. Hopefully, Patrick can get it back up. But what we're currently working on. Getting new restaurants into the tap out fold. Sace being one of them, right? So I'm gonna have Chris reach out to Erica and Jake, and hopefully they want to jump in our rotation because we want some Mexican food in there. Like Fuku Sushi. We had Matt in a few weeks ago, and we don't have a sushi place. So all these places, like going into the second half of the year, as much as I love our tap out clients right now, but we've had the same ones for years, and they've been ride or dies, and our salespeople don't fucking sell shit, right? And I'm just like, that's like, they definitely don't sell tap out because they don't make a big money off of it. And then like this package is not big money. It's the fairest package for the client, and it's something for our listeners, right? So they don't get that. It's like, hey, this is more about giving than taking. And they're just like, but I got Rico now doing sales, and he's all about it, right? And this is a great way to build relationships and establish, showing that, hey, we want to help you and support you build your business and not lose money. And that's pretty much where we're at. Is your email address still killswitchengage2020 at Gmail?
Yeah, it'll always be that for the rest of my life, probably.
You might get hacked. You might have to change it one day.
No. You just better hope that the lead singer Killswitch Engage doesn't like kitty porn. You know what I mean? Because then you're gonna be like, there's always a thing.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I would never get a tattoo of any person, any band, nothing, man. Because something could always happen.
Yeah, for sure. And then Todd's like, just got doxxed. Well, yeah, sorry for doxing you. But hopefully you get just a random email from people being like, hey, bro, you sound cool. What's up? But yeah, keep an eye out for that email with the tickets. That will happen probably before like the 15th, and then the game's on the 18th. Okay.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good night. Or have a good day, guys.
Yeah, you too,
You
brother.
too.
Yeah. So the goal is hopefully as we go in, not only food places, but
Mhm.
some other retail places, and we load up maybe even a couple tap outs per week, and kind of spread the wealth there. So yeah, I'm excited about it, and I really hope that. I know that like Fuku is excited to kind of jump on board, and we talked to Erica about it a while ago,
Okay.
and Jake and stuff like that. So I think they'd be excited about it as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And you
Yeah.
can vouch for Sace. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Man, I'm going to talk about Sace for a minute now that you said that. The crispy avocado tacos.
Okay.
Dude, like crispy fish
It's
are
delicious, yeah.
standard, right?
Right.
Classic. People, I feel like, are sleeping on the crispy avocado tacos. So that's just my recommendation. If you're a Sace fan and you haven't tried that yet, try it your next visit.
I'm gonna try it. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds delicious,
Yeah.
and it's a great way. Like, in fact, actually, when I get my daughter down here visiting and stuff, we can go there and she eat that up because vegan, right?
Mhm.
So it's veganish or even
Or
vegetarian.
vegetarian. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
All right. Earlier this morning, a weirdo gave us Kendall gave us odd news. Weirdo gives us weird news, but Kendall gives us odd news, and she did a fantastic job. In case you missed it, it went a little something like this. Check it out. It'll happen. It's coming. There it is. All right, so I just realized I got a DM from Kendall's mom, which is hilarious. And it was it started off as an FML, but you knew exactly that it was
I knew
a DM
right
from
away.
your mom. Yes. Well, we'll maybe address that a little bit later, but I know that you've been scouring the internet for some oddities. What did you find?
Well, I want to know, what would you do if you saw T-Rexes falling from the sky?
If I saw T-Rexes falling from the sky,
Yeah.
I'd be like, it's the apocalypse. I've been ready for this all my whole life. So let's go. No, I'd probably freak out. Why?
Well, this happened if you were in Auburn, Washington. This was your reality because they had a T-Rex World Championship race.
Really?
Yes.
And a world championship race, but why were they falling from the sky? Did people
That's
die?
how they kicked it off. They had T-Rex, three of them, skydive to start the race.
That's
definitely
hilarious.
the best part. I mean, 300 inflatable racers in T-Rex costumes did the race.
This is such an odd thing that this is now like a cultural phenomenon because we all
It
know
is.
when you're talking about this, the exact type of T-Rex inflatable that
Right.
you're talking about because you see them all over social media and you see them in Halloween.
Yeah.
And they seem like fun, but why are they so popular that they literally created an event celebrating these and making it a race?
I think they're trying to get into the Olympics, maybe, because it's people from the U.S. and Canada that traveled to do this race.
Right, yeah,
So,
so-
that's getting international now. This
In other
is-
words, just white people. No, it's not going to be international. Just it's definitely a white person sport. Let's dress up like a T-Rex and waddle our ass down to the finish line. Yeah, there's no world records going to be broken in this.
maybe eventually. I mean, there's 300. How many T-Rex racers? What's it going to be to take the Guinness Book of World Record?
Well, I think
title?
I already got it for 300, but I mean, I guess we could maybe, if we had the funds, because I'm sure what are they like $40-$50 a piece,
Mhm.
we could get 400 and then steal the world record from them. Let me ask you this: if
Mhm.
you knew any men out there or women that had like unusually short arms, would you encourage them to be a T-Rex racer? Because they're kind of born for it.
Yeah, that's probably the best fit.
That's what I'm
you
thinking.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
But
Super
to
odd.
find somebody super tall with short arms is probably pretty difficult.
Oh no, they're out there.
Yeah.
What did the winner receive? Was there any prize for being the fastest T-Rex, or was it just let's get together and?
I think it's just bragging rights. There was somebody that was crowned top male T-Rex.
Yes, very bragging rights. I would love to see that on somebody's Tinder profile. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, ladies, not to flex too hard, but I was voted top male T-Rex.
Exactly.
Rawr.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
How prestigious.
All right, well, I mean, to each his own.
Yeah.
What else did you find on the internet that's odd?
Well, would you ever consider getting a love doll if you're still single in 10 years?
Yeah. In fact, actually, it's pretty much my retirement plan.
I feel like back in the day, it used to be, okay, if I'm still single and you're still single, like you had a close friend that you're like, we're going to match up, you know? And people don't talk like that now because now there's Chinese companies making AI-powered love dolls.
Really?
Yes.
At like a rapid rate? They just cranking them out?
30% jump this year alone. So instead of having a backup friend be your partner, people are getting backup love dolls.
Yes, and you know what? I'm telling you, I've been screaming from the rooftops that this is a thing that's happening, and you know, it's not just going to be men sleeping with these love dolls. It's definitely going to be women as well, and much like that movie AI that Steven Spielberg directed back in the day with Haley Joel Osment and Jude Law. Jude Law was a sex bot in that, if you recall, and he was like a gigolo. Because he's programmed to, you know, be a selfless lover, and us men, genetically speaking, are not programmed that way. So it's gonna be easy to like go that route.
Depending on how much money you're willing to shell out, they can go for $3,000 each. But some models do have the capability to move, chat, and simulate emotions.
Yeah, that's seems like a hassle. I'd go
pretty intense.
How much for the mute model?
That's the most expensive model.
Yeah, it's like this one's so realistic. It will tell you that you're lazy and that you need to clean the house and blah 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 and take out the trash. You're like, oh my god, it's almost like being in a real relationship.
That's how you know the AI love is real.
Terrifying world that we live in, but good news for some out there. And that's an excellent job there, Kendall.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the reset. We come back. We got another round of Your F My Life. Plus, I'm going to give you a keyword so you can fly yourself to Portugal. And on top of that, we'll have tickets to give away for Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains at the Rialto Theater. So all that and more in store. Keep it right here on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right. Did you know that earlier today, or last night, Kendall's mom DM'd me and claimed that she was a dump baby? So we found that out today. I got to that.
Yeah.
Also, I guess we'll talk about this in our last segment after I play Traps Headstrong. But apparently today is the shortest day in history, which is weird because we literally just had the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. It's a scientific phenomenon, which I'll kind of break down here in a little bit, and things to do on the shortest day. And it's not going to be the only shortest day. Apparently there's going to be a couple more days that come up here soon that will technically be the shortest day, and Earth's rotation spins up a little bit.
It's making my brain hurt already.
It's not great. Doesn't seem awesome.
It's like thinking about time travel. I just cannot understand. Like, no matter how well you explain it.
It's not real. That's the thing. So you could explain it, but it's not real.
Right.
Yeah. Because if it was real, then every Powerball winner would be sus. I don't know. I mean, what's a good argument for time travel being real? If you have one, put it in the comments. But it's really hard to come up with one. Did you come across some stuff in the news that you wanted to touch on before we wrap things up?
Not so much the news, but more like your personal news.
My personal news?
Yeah, I want to know. I've been wanting to ask this for a while.
Okay, go ahead. Ask away.
What are your love languages? Like, what is the most? There was 5. We've advanced now to 7.
We have 7 love languages?
There's 7 now.
Jeez.
Technically, I think there might even be more, but let's stick with the 5.
Okay, let's
go old
let's
school.
See. My love language is acts of kindness. Okay.
You mean acts of service?
No.
I guess that could be kindness.
Yeah, kindness, like buying things and like making food and being just sweet and kind. That's it.
Okay.
Physical touch is one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. My love language is compliments. If I compliment is a love language thing.
Words of affirmation.
Yes. Yeah. Words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's see. I mean, obviously, the act making love is love language, right?
The physical touch, yeah.
It goes back to physical touch. So I still only have 3.
So
hold on. I want to see, like how I am as a person and a loving. Let's see. Damn, those are
I think because everybody does all 5. It's just that some care. You have more emphasis on some than others.
I have chivalry, right? Like I open doors. Right.
That's still acts of service and acts of kindness.
Okay. So damn. Okay. So I only do 3. All right. So what are the 7 then? What am I missing?
Well, you're missing quality time.
Okay, yeah. But,
undivided attention, and meaningful conversations. So I guess that's not very important to you.
yeah. I mean, no, I do that, and that's pillow talk and aftercare, I consider that, I do enjoy conversations after. Yeah.
Only after, not before. Don't talk to me until later. And then receiving gifts, which I'm not sure if I understand that one, because I feel like that's part of acts of service. If you're doing helpful things, I guess that's just acts of service.
Well, there's giving and
then
there's
gift
receiving.
giving. Yes. I guess it's both ways.
Okay,
it's giving and receiving gifts.
No, because acts of service is different than giving gifts, right? So say like if I got you a necklace, that's different than opening your door, right? Or something like that. So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're mostly into the acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation.
Yeah, I'm pretty shallow. So love language.
That's what we've learned.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just keep going into the other additional 2 now that there's more than 5. The other 2 that are listed are emotional security.
Okay.
So feeling safe, to be vulnerable, having stability and trust. And then the 7th one would be shared experiences.
Okay.
So,
talking about acts of love
traveling.
language. Apparently there's 7 of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I do think, traveling, going on vacations, that's a love language for sure. As a man and a provider and stuff, like, usually I've done that. It's come back to bite me in the ass a couple times where like, I know where I'm like, hey, I'm doing all this because I care and let's have like nice little vacation. I'm going to pay for all this stuff. And then you have like a bad time because it's like towards the tail end of the relationship. And then you just kind of regret everything. I've been in that situation as well. I've had the honeymoon vacation and I've had the, oh my God, we should have been broken up vacation.
Right.
And obviously love the honeymoon vacation way more. But it's all part of experiences of living, I guess. Is
that the Hail Mary move that you're trying to pull of like, let's go on a vacation and see if we can turn this thing around? And then
yes and no. I'll tell you this, because this my last relationship, right, which lasted over 3 years. We did our first vacation, right, within like the first 6 months of our relationship, and it was great, right? We had the best time and, very lovey-dovey. Then the next year, we did it around the same time as the birthday thing. And it wasn't great. And it was very like almost combative. We had some good times, but at the same time, there were moments in that vacation where I was like, this isn't going to last. And it was it wasn't a great feeling. Right. But we still stuck it out for whatever reason. And then the third and final vacation that I booked around that time, literally the day before we're about to go and everything's booked, she's like, I don't want to go. Right. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go? Right. And it was pretty much, it was done. She's like, yeah, I just don't want to go and it's over kind of thing. And I'm like, I've already booked this vacation. Like, I can't even get the money back. Like, I got to go. Oof. Yeah. And that was rough. And I'll tell you something that makes me kind of scumbaggy. But we were already in a loveless relationship at this point for almost a year. And I was kind of like staying with her to try to take care of her because, she had an abortion and then it didn't go well for her. Right. And, it wasn't my choice, her body, her choice. But then I'm trying to, I tried. Right. And I tried too long. There was too many times where I should have took my dignity, sacrificed and just walked out the door. But I was optimistic and, whatever, tried. But then at that point, I'm like, well, then I'm still going to go. So then I called an old friend of mine and I was like, hey, you want to go to Mexico? Right. And so we did. And so we went down there and at first it was great. Right.
Yeah.
I had the whole hooking up and having fun. But then all the baggage that I brought with me emotionally
caught up.
Yeah. So the second half of it was kind of difficult for both of us. She was very understanding in the situation, but I didn't feel good about it. Initially I was like, I don't want to go by myself. Definitely didn't want to do that. Because that would be even more depressing. I'm in my favorite place in this romantic room and everything by myself and being antisocial, just eating tacos and whatever, right? Drinking tequila. Not cool. So it was what it was. And, and so the first part of the trip was good. The second part wasn't that great. Came back. The relationship was already over anyway. So it wasn't even cheating at that point. But it was moving on quickly. Very, very quickly.
Yeah. Me.
I know. Oh, why'd you even bring that up? That is not what I wanted to share on the air before we wrap up the show today.
No, I mean, let's get back to the love languages, okay?
Well, we're actually out of time.
Okay, never mind then.
Well, you know what? We'll continue the love languages on the podcast broadcast.
Okay.
And thank God that I got Nessa on the stream saying, we've all done that at least once. Like, have we? All right, good. Whew. Have you done that?
Done what?
What I just did? What I said I did?
Wait, which part?
All of it?
I guess so. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Good. So we're all garbage people? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
That's your beef tip. Thank you guys for listening. Join us on the podcast broadcast, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have Chrissy from Tucson Doobie in studio. Continue to give away tickets for Jerry Cantrell. And keywords to go fly yourself to Portugal. Till then, enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. I never told that story and publicly before.
I did not mean to go there at all.
You did this.
We just had a slippery slope and ended on a little bit of a downer. So
yeah. Well, yeah,
me.
I know. And Nessa was like, I don't understand why people are afraid to do things by themselves. You're right. But you know, I would have been flagged a little bit more going across the border. I was going to Mexico. It would have added to the hassle a little bit. And I wanted to have a good trip, and I spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It's kind of like in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when, well, he didn't have the Hawaii trip booked. He booked it because of the breakup. But like as soon as he gets there, he's just, you know, crying,
Yes.
you know. And
it would have been like that too.
So I think if you're partnered up with somebody, like you said, you kind of got to at least enjoy some of it before the emotional baggage.
And there was some definitely, and we're losing a lot of, you know, streamers on this, but there was some, you know, like pent up aggression and fun. You know, she was very supportive during that. My friend at the time, still friends with her. She's in a relationship now and she's doing really well. And I'm happy for her. She was good during times. Of course, she loved the trip to Mexico. It was her first time. And was still able to show a good time. But yes, then I got in my head, and it could have been like 4 nights of just bang fest, right? I'm single again, and let's, you know, we had physical chemistry. Let's just get crazy. First 2 nights it was, and then we did a little bit, but then it was a lot like, I just need time to think and my emotions.
Hold me.
Yeah.
Just bundle you up.
Yeah, and what the Cactus Robot's like, I heard this before, but no, you haven't. I have not told that story before because that was, you know, it was outing myself in a big way to a certain extent. I mean, you heard the abortion thing before for sure, though. All right. Anyways, finish up your love language stuff.
Well, the top choice for men, physical touch, you listed, which I agree with. For women, apparently it's ranked second or third. For me, I'd say it's also probably my number one. I'm very touchy-feely.
Yes, that's good.
And then number 2, words of affirmation. It's usually second or third for men, but number 1 for women.
Okay, yeah. They want to hear things.
Right. And then acts of service, it's usually the middle of the pack, but it's a strong favorite, especially for working moms, for women.
Cool. Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Yeah, I want to end it more on a positive note.
Yeah.
So let's do our F My Lives and wrap things up.
Yeah,
so we had
positive.
good F My Lives today. None of them involved the dump baby, but excellent job today. My favorite dump baby, Kendall. Tomorrow it'll be Emil, myself, and Chrissy from Tucson Doobie. It's going to be a good one. So join us. But check this out.
Self-loving by your mom?
Awkward. It is awkward.
Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupid.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600-KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of your FMLs. These are unfortunate situations emailed to us at beefvegan@kfma.com. Subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, you can give us a call right now at 600-KFMA. That's 600-5362. And if Kendall and I agree your life is F, we'll hook up with a pair of tickets for the Diamondbacks versus the St. Louis Cardinals on July 18th. Are you ready, Kendall?
Absolutely.
All right. We have some really good FMLs today, so let's get right into it. I'm excited to share this. In fact, actually, I was like, I should probably save some of these for the 8 o'clock hour on another day, but F it. Let's go right into Daisy's first FML. She said, Beef, I once went to my doctor to get the morning after pill. I explained to her that the condom broke and I was nervous. She simply asked me when. So I replied, towards the end. I didn't realize she was actually asking about what day it happened. F My Life.
Not FML, but that is hilarious and an answer I would say.
Yeah, it's an awesome blonde moment. When did it happen? Towards the end, immediately at the end, in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
it happened last week, bro.
Very Leslie Mann style answer.
Yes, absolutely.
Iconic answer.
Yeah, so Big Baby, that was hilarious. And there you go. Next FML email sent to me by Tony. Tony said, let's see, the girl I like at work surprised me in the otherwise empty break room. She caught me taking part in what might as well have been a ball scratching Olympics. I didn't notice she was behind me until she cleared her throat to get my attention.
Oof.
FML, what do you say?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say FML. That's pretty embarrassing.
It is embarrassing, especially if you like the girl, and it does make you kind of look like, a chimp just going at it. But as a guy speaking, every guy knows that scratching the boys is one of the simple pleasures in life that is undeniably amazing.
Yeah, but when you're going at a Olympic pace.
Yeah, that's true. It's real deep down, and you're at work. Please tell me you're not in food service. Anyways, F my life for getting caught. All right,
Yes.
A few more left here. JD sent me this email, beefvegan@kfma.com, and said, I noticed that my penis looks tiny in my girlfriend's hands. Without thinking, I pointed it out to her. Now she thinks I am small, and I think she has man hands. Either way, we're both turned off. All right, F my life. What do you say?
I thought the same thing, JD. I thought maybe she has large hands.
She probably does.
Don't say man hands, though. That's a little rude.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, JD, the relationship is doomed. You both know it, so walk away with whatever dignity you have left over, But yes, I mean, I've been in situations where I've dated women with large hands as well. And the visual aesthetic is so such a mind F. There's no coming back from that. Swear to God.
Well, that's rough.
Yeah, I know. That's why if you know any pretty women out there with just nubs, then send them my way. I want to feel massive. All right, two more left here. Carlos said, I found out that my girlfriend takes videos of me sleeping and watches them with her friends. FML.
No, that's not FML. And that's also normal.
How is that normal?
Your girl's going to do that.
Are you kidding me?
No, I just got from my sister-in-law a video of my brother sleeping. I love recording John when he sleeps.
That's so weird.
We love it.
Why?
Because, I don't know, there's something about it. It's like you don't know what's happening. We know you're asleep. And we're just sneaky. We're sneaky little FBI agents.
Serial killer vibes, for sure. I'm going to say F my life, so we're going to agree to disagree and move forward. But one of us is normal and the other is not. All right, final F my life of the day sent to me by Marie. Marie said, Sunday, I found out what rotten cooked potato both smells and tastes like.
Whoa.
Gross.
That's a thing?
No, I mean, it's not something that you want to eat. It seems like it was an accident.
How could that be an accident? If it's rotten, you would know when you boiled it.
She effed up. So is that enough?
I guess you don't know. Maybe she baked it.
Yeah, dude, you didn't boiled it. What kind of weird stuff is that? I mean, either way,
mashed potatoes.
Have you ever accidentally eaten something that's bad?
No, because I'm terrified of that happening.
I've done that with bad milk. I drank gross.
If it's the day before it expires, I'm sus. I'm not touching it.
Oh no, yeah, I'll throw it away. I mean, I'll just throw it as far away from me as possible.
Just anywhere outside your window.
I've been in that situation, Marie, and it kind of makes me gag even just reading it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say F my life.
I agree.
All right, all the way around for sure. Keep those emails coming or DM me at beefvegan on Instagram or beef@kfma.com. We'll hit the reset and be back more right after this. Superman's coming out. It's technically out. And there's been mixed reviews. We're going to give you the good, the bad, and why you might be excited or why you might want to avoid the latest James Gunn movie right after these words. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA.